sorry for the delay of jumping on. We had Miss Diva over here. Had to get the headphone volume right for her.
Oh my gosh, you had it probably like at max volume.
No, I didn't have it at max volume.
Well, it felt like that.
No, we had it turned down for you the last time.
Well, and then you kind of turned it down a little too low, and then I couldn't hear my pretty voice.
I'm just saying, you got to figure it out. This is a totally you problem. But thanks for hitting play on another episode of The Luke Kelly Show. It is Wednesday, so that means you get to hear about some nasty pornographic scene from a book that my wife has read. What book are we getting into? Are we in the same book?
No, we are in a new book. We are doing Untying the Knot by Megan Quinn. So we're sticking with the same author because she's just been hitting lately. So, I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
You know who's been hitting it? The guys in those books. They've been hitting it.
They have. So, and I've been really slow reading this book but
that's beside the point.
yeah, I've been choosing sleep over reading, which if you are a reader, you're just shaking your head like disappointment. But this book is Riot and Mila. See if I could talk today. They are married. Oh my gosh.
Riley?
Their names are kind of too close.
Ryla?
Riot is a retired baseball player. And he had to retire early. And Mila is an interior designer. But she was like an interior designer for like a nonprofit company like in Chicago. Well, then when Riot had to retire early, he started something called the Jock Report, which when I explained to you had said there was kind of already something.
Yeah, it's called the Players Tribune.
So basically it's
And now that you say that this was in Chicago, the guy, did he play for a Chicago baseball team?
Yes.
And his name is Riot?
Yes.
It makes me think that this lady gave the name Riot to this baseball player because she liked Ryan Theriot. Ryan Theriot is a former Chicago Cub. He played shortstop for them for a while, but his nickname was the Riot because the way that Theriot is spelled, it looks like the Riot.
Huh.
So I wonder if she was a fan of Ryan Theriot.
I'll have to look up where she's from because that'd be really funny. So, but is he the one who started that report or that?
No,
okay.
Derek Jeter was the one that started up the Players Tribune.
So basically him and some friends start up this app to let players kind of give their word. This is also a spinoff of the book, A Not So Meet Cute. So the characters that were in that book, which was kind of like that Pretty Woman book, are in this book.
Okay.
So, but when he retires, he moves them to California to start this app and this program. And Mila's kind of feeling some resentment of like, he chose what life after baseball was for the both of us. And she really wasn't included in these decisions. So she just she files for divorce and serves him divorce papers. And they have a friend who is getting married in like 3 weeks. And he said, I don't want to sign these divorce papers and then go to this wedding and have there be new stories about us getting a divorce and take away from this couple's wedding. He goes, go to this wedding with me in 3 weeks. I will sign the divorce papers and let you be happy and on your way. So he ends up signing them, but she still decides to go to the wedding with him. And he is trying to win her back in the 3 weeks. So
this guy's got a lot of work to do in the next couple of weeks here.
He does, because I mean, she kind of, he talks about, why are you filing divorce? And she goes, you don't listen to me anymore. He goes, what are you talking about? We have sex all the time. And she's like, that's really not the case. He didn't even know she was taking college classes to become an actual interior designer just because he was too involved in his own life. So, but their sex life has always been good. So that gives us great book content. So this is Riot's point of view. Spread your legs and hold them open. I do exactly what he says as he runs the scruffiness of his cheeks along my inner thigh. You're going to drive me crazy, aren't you? I'm going to do what I damn well please. He kisses my thigh as he brings the shower head between my legs and changes the spray so it darts out. I swear that setting was made for this reason, and this reason alone, because when he moves it over my clit, I nearly slide off the bench. He props me up, holding me in a place, and starts applying the water pressure again. I bite my bottom lip as I hold in my moans. He brings his cheeks to the other thigh and rubs against it, kissing, teasing, making me squirm. And when I think he's going to give me what I want, he lowers his mouth in front of my clit and brings the shower head to my entrance, where it pulses inside me, giving me a new sensation as his tongue crashes down onto me. Oh, shit. I say as my eyes nearly popping out of my sockets. Riot. Who does this pretty little pussy belong to? You, I answer. Oh, my God, you.
Wow. That's why women like a detachable shower head. That's the real reason why. They don't even have to pay for toys. It's like, hey, just use the tools that we have inside the house already.
You're in your 30s and you just realized that?
No, I knew that.
I would hope so. But yeah, no, that was a nice, fun scene.
Was that the best scene, the best sex scene from the book?
No, there are some other ones, but again, it's really hard to find if it's a taboo book, super easy to find something, but when it's like a Megan Quinn, Tessa Bailey book, and there is a lot more context to what's going on, and you've got like, I mean, some of the highlights I have are 2.5 pages long.
Oh, wow.
Because of just the full buildup of, because I mean, you know, sex is, you know, it's not just sticking it in, it's the buildup, it's the teasing, it's the foreplay. And so you have all of that because primarily women are reading this and primarily women prefer that. And so they want that buildup to get to the big point. And so sometimes it's 3 pages long of buildup and I'm like, I can't read this. Like this was like A+, you know, content here, but I can't read it because I would just be wasting 3 minutes of people's time reading
Got
this
it.
quote. So you got to find like, you know, that happy medium. But I thought that was kind of a good picture scenario.
Did they end up getting back together? Did those 3 weeks play into a factor of that lady deciding, you know what, Riot's actually a pretty good dude?
I'm not going to spoil it.
I want it spoiled because I'm not going to read it. So tell me.
I don't know.
You haven't finished it?
No, because I have literally 30 minutes left of this book. So.
How is it going right now? Like the last 30 minutes, you're not into that part yet. But right now, what do you think right now is going to happen?
I think they are going to stay together. I think she is going to go back to him. But what I was reading on my lunch break, I was crying. But that's because there's something else that happens in the book that I don't really want to spoil it.
Oh, man.
That kind of plays off.
She fell in love with the pool boy.
Yes, you got it.
Knew it. Nailed it.
But I will say, like in this book, the Mila has, she kind of has a rough past. Both of her parents were in the Air Force, and her dad was a higher ranking than her mom, and so her mom got stuck moving around for her dad's Air Force positions. And the mom took out a lot of resentment onto Mila, so she has a lot of like childhood trauma of not only emotional abuse but physical abuse. And so she has a lot of baggage. So then in the book, she does a really good, Megan Quinn does a really good job writing because it goes into, so not only are you getting Riot's point of view and Mila's point of view throughout the book, but it will go present day. And then it will go back to the 11 years prior to like when they first met. And then the next it'll be like 6 years prior. So you get like the buildup of all of their relationships. And then, it will go to like present day of like what's going on, try to rebuild it. So then there's like some chapters where you're like, you just want to like shake Mila and be like, you're the issue. You're the issue. Riot's just like this perfect guy. He's got so much patience for you. And then it goes to like another scenario and you're like, well, no, duh, she wants a divorce. Like he's being like this. And so she does a really good job making you hate and fall in love with both characters.
Got it.
Which, you know.
Got it. Do you think Riot knew that Milo was a Taylor Swift fan?
I'm pretty sure there was a Taylor Swift reference in here.
Seems fitting.
She is a Swiftie.
Then that's most definitely
Megan Quinn
fitting.
is a Swiftie because she does a lot of Taylor Swift quotes in her books.
Gotcha.
Which is maybe why I like her.
I bet you she was online trying to score some tickets, just like the rest of America was.
I know. You and your friend Taylor picked the worst days to try to get wrestling tickets.
We'll get into that here in a second. But Taylor Swift, and I had this conversation with some people in the office. I have to defend Taylor Swift a lot because I think for as many Swifties that there are, there's so many people that just hate her, right? And they have no reason why. And I had to defend Taylor Swift today, and somebody go, well, all she does is write about bad past relationships. I said, if you look at the foundation of a lot of artists, and if they write their own music, it's based off of some sort of trauma that they've had in their life or a bad experience. Maybe don't want to use trauma, but it's something that was impactful on their life, and they kind of have this outlet, this creative outlet that other people can find out about, right? And Taylor Swift, she has a big audience. This is what hits most of her when she writes songs, and I always hit it. I think that majority of artists have an avenue. They go down it. Same thing with the actors. Like Will Ferrell, what kind of actor is he? He's a comedy actor.
Yeah.
He plays basically the same role in every single movie, right?
Yeah.
Adam Sandler has finally gotten to a different point of his career where he's not trying to be the super funny guy, but if you remember early point of his career.
Melissa McCarthy.
Yeah, it's all, they perfect in that little art that they have, right?
Yeah.
So I'll defend her, and there was people in the office that were trying to buy tickets to go see Taylor Swift as well. Like, I knew that was going to happen today.
Yeah.
And it seemed like you were the only person, Nora, that was able to get tickets that I know. I just got off the phone with my brother Matt because my sister-in-law wants to go see Taylor Swift in Chicago. But they didn't get
Patty
through.
was a Swiftie either.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. They didn't get in. So we'll see how many other people get it because it seems like the secondary market is already highly marked up.
So this is the funny part is, I mean, I've got a group. There's a group of 6 of us wanting to go.
I think the way that you guys are doing it is right.
We did it the strategic way. There's a group of 6 of us, and 3 out of the 6 are attempting tickets. And we have 3 different locations, so 1 person at each location. 2 of the 3 got pre-sale, like verified fans, and the 3 people who are buying tickets all have Capital One cards. So like, we looked at it, we're like, okay, so there's 3 shows in Chicago, there's 3 shows in Nashville, there's 2 in Cincinnati. So that is 8 shows potential. Average cost of average stadium seating is about, I'd say 70,000 between larger and smaller stadiums. I'm like, 70,000 times 8 is over 560,000 seats that were available to us, and we had 5 different pre-sale options before even they went on sale to the public. So I felt like we had some really good odds with us. Mm-hmm. And the 3 people who are buying tickets also had the luxury of working from home today. So we were able to be on top of it. So we scored tickets today, which I am just...
You should be over the moon excited about it. There's so many people who are like, oh, Ticketmaster crashed on me, which Taylor Swift crashed Ticketmaster. So nobody was really able to get in. My buddy Taylor and I are planning on going to Royal Rumble down in San Antonio. And I texted him today, and I was like, hey, man, you know what? We really need to decide what we're going to do for the Royal Rumble because it's just a couple of months away at this point. And he was sending me texts that said, hey, Section 101 looks good. I've found some for like $348 or something like that. And I'm like, I'm not seeing them. I could not get onto Ticketmaster on my computer or on my phone. He said he was able to get it, but when he was trying to advance the purchase, then he would finally get that error that said, hey, we're experiencing some issues.
Taylor Swift. I mean, I think it's funny. I mean, and we did get lucky because we got tickets. We have an option of either Cincinnati or Nashville because we got two. I will attempt Chicago tomorrow. And our game plan was to whatever show either had the best seats and the best option for lodging, because we will have to lodge somewhere no matter where we go. That's the show we will pick. We also have other friends that are attempting to buy tickets as well. And so we kind of told them like, hey, if we get to multiple shows and we don't, use, like, let's say we don't use Nashville, we can,
we'll sell them to you at face value.
Exactly. So we're not trying to be the greedy Ticketmaster people of like buying them and selling them for $8,000 on like StubHub. Like, we're not trying to do that. But so we got lucky. But yeah, I mean, I'm just like so excited that I am going to I've never seen Taylor Swift. I get to see Taylor Swift, and it's going to be probably one of the best concerts to see her because she is going to be representing all of her eras.
That's going to be crazy because usually when an artist goes on tour, it's for a new album and they cater it towards that. But, someone like Taylor Swift, who has a huge library of music that she can perform, and to be able to attend a stadium in which she's going to cover all of her eras, that's going to be pretty badass. Like,
I'm so excited.
I don't consider myself to be a Swiftie, but I am a fan of Taylor Swift.
Yes.
I feel like in order to be a Swiftie, you have to know all of the things about Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
I am a casual I'm a casual fan, I would say, of Taylor Swift. Like, I don't hate her. I'm never going to be one of those people that will sit there and bash her. I think what she does is fantastic. But I think that will be an epic show. And I told you from the beginning, this is your WrestleMania. This is your Super Bowl.
And you were shocked at the price that we got our tickets for.
I am incredibly shocked how much you guys paid for them. Because I told you, I was like, I don't care. You can spend $1,000 on these tickets. I really did not care if you spent that much money because I knew how valuable that experience would be for you to go and see Taylor Swift.
And it's not like, I mean, you and your friend Taylor plan on going to Royal Rumble multiple times. So you think going 3 to 4 years, you're put $1,000 into that. So I'm going, this is my once in a lifetime kind of a thing. So, but yeah, I'm excited. I am just in shock. But kind of when you said like you're not a Swiftie, but you are a fan of hers. One of podcasters I listen to, she says kind of the same thing. She's like, I'm not a Swiftie because I do not interact in you crazy Swiftie behavior. She's like, but I will spend money to go see Taylor. She's like, I love her music and everything, but I do think it's funny when people try to hate on her, and I agree that for every one Swiftie, there's probably 2 haters of a Taylor Swift. But I kind of look at them and I go, you don't have to like her music, because there are some other artists that I am not a fan of their work. Like I'm not a fan of their genre of music or just the stylistics of their music. Like Billie Eilish is one of them. I don't hate her. Her music is just not something I truly enjoy listening to, but I fully respect her as a person and a businesswoman of like, she chooses to dress a certain way. So she's not sexualized. She chooses to, market this way. And she talks about certain things because that's what's important to her. So I tell people, I'm like, you don't have to like her music. If you're not a fan of her music or maybe even her voice, that's perfectly fine. But you have to at least give her respect and credit for a businesswoman who has stayed relevant for over 15 years to the point where she's the only person who's ever had the top 10 songs on the Billboard charts. Not only that, but she's the only woman. That's the first time ever that there's been only female artists on the top 10.
It's incredible.
I mean, just her as a businesswoman and her marketing is just, and her brain is just so intelligent and so like, I would just love to look into her brain for an hour. So you have to respect her in that sense. You don't have to like her music, but at least respect her as a businesswoman.
Exactly. That's how I view a lot of celebrities and the image that they've created or the brand that they built. It takes a lot to be able to do something like that in order to build up a culture and in a way to build up a fan base. There's a lot that goes into it, a lot of hard work. And to see all of that actually pay off for somebody, it's awesome. It's just like if one of your friends decided to start their own company, whatever the case may be, and you went there and you visited all the time because you believed in it, and then all of a sudden you started to see other people believe in it, and you've seen all that hard work that somebody else has put into that, and now they're at an even bigger stage. Just like imagine if you were around
when it started
and you were one of the original friends of the guy that started up McDonald's, right?
Yeah.
And then the empire that it was built in today.
Yeah.
They did something right. No matter if you liked hamburgers and French fries or not, because maybe at that time, eating the way that Americans do now, a lot of people back in the day would have been like, you're not supposed to eat like that. It's unhealthy.
Yeah.
So I think, in order to see something grow and become something, there obviously had to be something that was done correct, and you got to respect it. Not all the time, because sometimes people do some shitty stuff, but for the majority of it, if it's for a good cause, then yeah, that's
exactly.
It. Good for Taylor Swift. And another big brand, especially around this time of the year, is A Christmas Story. This fucking thing gets played for 24 hours on TNT or TBS every single year. I have told you, I am not a fan of A Christmas Story, but A Christmas Story is actually going to be popping this holiday season because there's going to be that either spinoff or reboot or whatever supposed to be sequel, whatever.
Is it a series or is it a movie?
It might be a sequel. I don't know what it is. That's coming out on HBO Max. Well, now the Christmas Story house is up for sale. It was announced on Tuesday, so today, in which I'm recording this, that the house is going to go up for sale. It's incredible that this house could go for so much money. And just think about everything that you have to really do in order to keep this house to be one of those places that when people go to Cleveland, Ohio, they want to see A Christmas Story house because it is so iconic. I would never want to go do it, but the house is up for sale. You could buy it right now, and I'm trying to get the exact price of how much this house is going for. Let's see.
I couldn't even tell you what that house looked like.
You couldn't?
No, I don't. I mean, it's been years since I've seen A Christmas Story, just because neither one of us are fans of it. It's just like we avoid that one at all costs. But I just think it's so funny that like this house is for sale, and I'm sure people are like huge fans, but like I could probably drive past it on the street and not even know.
So you do get a lot for the house because you get the house, you get the museum, you get the whole business behind this house. The website, if you would like to actually buy this house, you could see it. ChristmasStoryHouse.com. You could go up there and they have the full listing on this website. But good luck if you're trying to buy this house.
What's the sale price?
So like I said, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So there's actual 7 properties that you would get in this. Sense. You get this house, you get the museum and gift shop, you get
was it the neighbor's house, one of them?
Yeah, a parking lot, another empty lot, and then a parking lot for the staff, and then a rental property that you get in it. So there's a lot of property that you can get for it, and I'm still trying to find the exact price. I do not see it.
But you know what? Someone's going to buy that, and they're not going to keep the museum open, and they're going to be so hated. Like, you're going to have to buy that house to keep the museum open.
Well, yeah. Why wouldn't you?
Because what if someone wanted to buy it to, like, actually live in it?
Do you think somebody would really want to live in that house?
I don't know. What if that was, like, your, like, favorite, movie as a child, and you're like, this is the house that I want to raise my kids in. In good old Cleveland, Ohio.
I don't know how many people are going to say, yeah, I want to pack up and move to Cleveland, Ohio to live in this house.
How far away is it from the Browns stadium? Could they Airbnb it?
I don't know how far it is from the stadium. It could be pretty far, but
no one wants to go to a Browns game anymore. They dropped Allison's husband, so we don't really
yeah.
We don't really care about the Browns anymore.
No, I just took them to the Super Bowl though.
You took them to the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I took the Browns to the Super Bowl. That means I just took a poop, right? Because when you poop, it's brown, and then you poop into a toilet bowl.
I did not get that reference, but thank you for explaining.
I could tell that it went completely over your head. I could tell that.
Thank you.
I'm trying to get this list price. I'm trying to see. It just says...
Or best offer.
The
Name
property was purchased on the auction site for $150,000.
Oh, my God.
Back in 2004.
That's actually really low for 2004.
I can't find the list price for it. Everywhere that I click, it's not showing it because I bet you they think they're going to make a ton of money off of this. Now, if it was the Home Alone house, I would pay a lot of money for it. And that's actually in a really nice area, too, like in a suburb of Chicago. I always forget which one it is because the neighborhood that the first and second one is in is different than the third one. I would buy that. I would buy the Full House. Like, of all these fictional houses, A Christmas Story way down on the list. Another famous house that I would buy before A Christmas Story house is Family Matters. Fantastic TV show. I would buy their house in the suburbs of Chicago. Other good fictional. Oh, you know what house I would pay a little bit of money for? The Dawson's Creek house. Like right off the creek. Be nice to look at. Go out on the dock. Yeah, I would buy that house too. But not A Christmas Story. I would buy it, and then just to piss off everyone, if I did have the money to do it, if I won that Powerball last week, I would have done the ultimate bad guy thing. This would have been the most bad guy thing in the WWE to do. I would buy that and bulldoze it down. Wow. That's right. I would be like the Grinch. The Grinch of A Christmas Story.
I feel like you hate The Christmas Story just as much as you hate Peeps.
I do, because I don't think the movie is good enough to get all the love that it does.
Yeah. What flavor Peeps did we see the other day at Target?
Oh, man. It sounded disgusting. Like I almost puked.
Wasn't it like peppermint?
It was a candy cane.
Ugh.
It was a candy cane Peep. I didn't even know that they made Peeps for other holidays. But there are different flavors
to market and get your item out there.
There were different flavors. So there were the candy cane ones, and then there was some cinnamon flavored ones too. I was like, Peeps, you just gotta stop. Stick to Easter, and that's it.
You shouldn't even be in during. You're like, I don't even want to see you during Easter.
No, the birds wouldn't even eat freaking Peeps. I don't know if birds can.
Do you think Lori would eat Peeps?
No, I wouldn't allow her to eat Peeps. No, she's above Peeps.
She's above them?
Yeah.
She is a picky eater, though. She won't eat fruits or vegetables.
But if you give her a ham, she loves a good old fucking piece of ham. Not a piece of ham, a hunk of ham.
She'll eat half a ham off the countertop.
That fucking dog. Gotta love her.
And she'll do it without knocking anything over, so you won't even know that she did it.
Yeah, she's a spy dog. Secret. She's a ninja dog. She could do it all. She could do it all in order to get some food.
Gosh.
Oh, man. That was good. I hope you get your Taylor Swift tickets, okay? If you didn't get them yesterday, I wish you all the best of luck today. Hopefully you don't have to pay over $1,000 for some tickets for a concert. But
Stream the Reputation album.
I understand. Listen, if you got to get out there and spend thousands of dollars to enjoy that experience, go ahead. Make yourself happy. Bring yourself to time for 3 hours at night, 4 hours at night, where you don't have any other care in the world besides just fangirling out and being the biggest Swiftie of them all. All right, so thank you so much for showing up today. I appreciate it, and I'll talk to you on Monday here on The Luke Kelly Show.